So anyway, Trevor, I wanted to have you on to talk about some drama that happened.
Oh yeah, some drama in the comedy scene
Hell
that
yeah.
I'm apparently a part of.
So this was a part of the suburban scene also. Like I guess you have a
Yes.
car in so you go to the suburbs a lot, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I live in the suburbs.
And
Technically, I'm a suburban comic.
got it. So without naming any of the proper nouns, like I'm gonna show the letter, but also tell me how did you find where'd you get this letter? Where'd you get the screenshots from? How'd you find?
Because the other people that were involved in the letter, contacted me about said letter,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I found out about it.
Mm.
And there's also a few other issues, like the host of this open mic that apparently we were all talking shit about has blocked me on Facebook.
Okay, well, I got the letter and I blurred out all the names, so except for yours.
All right.
so so I could read it really quickly. Dear somebody, I just thought you should know that the following comedians in quotes have been bad mouthing your show slash auditions and telling local suburban comedians not to bother auditioning or performing at blank. In fact, most of their something celebration was spent bad mouthing you and the show you produce. It seems that there is a group of open mic comics that always work at the blank that feel they are actual comedians because they have been appearing at the same open mic for over 2 years now. Wow, what a bunch of salt this guy's throwing out. They poke fun at the fact that you judge the crowd laughs and reactions during the audition process instead of the actual comedian material. Yet you are not a comedian, and therefore you have no background to do such a thing. That was a very clunky fucking sentence. Like, what the hell? They are completely oblivious to the fact that the audiences must laugh at comedians and the material, and if no laughs happen, then it's no comedy. Wow. This guy writes like a fucking baby boomer.
That's what I showed a few people that message, and that's what they think. They think it's an older gentleman.
Dude, he sounds old as fuck. And then there's like a second page. Also, the fact that he printed out a letter
Oh my gosh, you should read the
shows.
second page. That's where it gets really funny.
Here's the second page. They have been burning bridges all over Chicago and the suburbs. I just thought it was important for you to know this so you can take into account who you allow to audition. I think many of these people feel they are hilarious, and the problems are with the audiences, not them or their material. Anyway, good luck with the venue and the show. The comedy Tattletale. Wow. Like, so now that we read the letter, what did you do to deserve this?
I talked shit about that open mic. I mean, see, here's the thing. I don't know if the person that wrote that letter actually knew about everyone talking shit, because there's a few people on that letter that like don't know anyone, or there was one person on that letter that we contacted that literally hasn't done stand up in like 3 years. So I'm thinking that whoever heard us talk shit about said quote unquote mic, that open mic, it's not an open mic, it's like a showcase, but I'll explain that.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever I think heard us talk shit about it, I think that they just saw Facebook comments of us
Uh-huh.
saying possible negative things about it, and that's
Oh.
why
Ah, so it
they
wasn't
think we're
even in
talking shit
person?
about it. What?
It wasn't even in person then?
I don't think so. I mean, they could have been there for this first. So what the showcase is, let me explain that. Originally, it was at this place. It's an open mic in the Lombard
Yeah.
suburban area. And the showcase used to be a comedy competition where the top comedian would get $100, and then they would get money at the bar, like like bar money, like for that specific place. They would get that for second and third place.
Mm-hmm.
And the host ended up pissing off the staff members and getting kicked out of the show. Like they were like, yeah, we don't want you here anymore. He ended up getting it back because he ran this new show. What it was he was doing auditions. The host was doing auditions to be on a national headliner in the main room of this place, and supposedly it could fit like 500 people.
National
So people were
headliner?
like, oh, I
Okay.
could perform stand-up comedy in front of 500 people? Of course I'm going to do it.
In Lombard.
So he was like running the show, and I don't know if the person who made this letter like heard us talk shit about it the first day we were there, because I went to this show and I did the show, the first one that they hosted for this audition.
Mm-hmm. So how the fuck? So, just to back up, when you say national headliner, what does that mean? If it's in
He said he's going to get a national headliner for this show, and that all the comedians that he's going to do a competition every week for like 9 weeks, and that whoever wins each week is going to be put on this showcase.
Got it.
For this national headliner.
So you're trying to think back to what. So you might have actually talked shit in person. Like, did you do what it said in the
I'm
letter?
pretty sure I did, because the issue with this open mic is that this guy that hosts it, he has that favoritism complex, and he likes to pick whoever he likes to be the winner.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't actually base it off of who should actually be the winner,
Right.
because of how they make the crowd laugh.
So, so you did it. So did you do well, in your opinion?
Oh, at that open mic, I did okay, but I also started out by kind of talking shit to the host as a joke,
Oh, okay.
and I'm sure he didn't like that, even though he fired back, and it was funny and it got laughs.
Huh. Yeah, it is interesting to do that. Like, I do that sometimes with, like, sometimes as the host, I'll do that. I try not to do it if I'm not hosting, but it can happen. I try not to do that if I'm at someone else's open mic.
Yeah.
Definitely not show if they booked me. If it's a person who booked me, I'm not going to fucking be a dick to them. At least I'll try not to. But if I'm the host for an open mic and someone talks shit about me, it fucking sometimes does get to me, to be honest.
That makes sense.
So
I get it, but
So I mean, I think this drama's hilarious, but like,
I think it's hilarious too until there was like supposedly other letters put out and to try and bash other comedians' names.
yeah, I mean, the way he called you out was very immature.
I think it's
and,
comical. I think that letter in particular is comical.
yeah, like it's not like he was trying to like he was just trying to not get you booked at this particular place. Like, I don't know, it could be worse, but it's just so petty, I guess.
I know, right? It's just so childish that an adult would write such a letter.
So, do you regret any of your behavior at this mic?
No, I'm still gonna say what I think about it, because here's the issue with that open mic. The open mic that they do there, it's not a bad mic by any means, and it does actually produce a crowd, but the issue is that they just do ambush comedy. They just attack these people that are just sitting at the bar. They're just like, okay, now we're doing comedy, and the audience members do not like it.
All right, just was wondering, so going forward, will you try not to like shit on the room or shit on the host? Did you get any sense of maybe not, like, did you change your, do you think you're going to change your behavior? Like, I already asked you that. You said no.
Yeah,
This
I feel
did
like I'll do it
nothing.
at some place. I only should do it at an open mic where I feel like it would be acceptable.
Right, and that's hard to read sometimes. It seems like you didn't care about burning this bridge, though.
Well, no, because I think the showcase is kind of stupid, because the host likes to pick whoever he wants to be the winner. So I don't feel like I would have had much of a chance unless if I was a kiss ass.
It's nepotism, gotcha. So it's just whoever sucks his dick the most.
That's what I feel. And I feel like he's I mean, I don't want to talk shit about him. I think he's a nice guy, but I feel like if you, as a person, kind of like say anything bad about him, I think that he
Yeah.
turns it into like it's war. You're a piece of shit. I never want to talk to you again.
So he's a little
Yeah,
oversensitive. Gotcha. And it is a
yeah, yeah.
suburban thing. But it's just seems like without the letter, it's hard for the word to go around because the suburban scene, nobody fucking, I never hear any drama from there.
Oh, I've heard a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I've heard one time a comic made a joke, like a slavery joke, and there was to a black comic, and the black comic posted it in the suburban comedy scene, the whole entire conversation saying, he was upset, this, that, and the third, he shouldn't talk shit like that.
Hmm.
But everyone knew it was just a joke.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess there's always going to be drama. It's just that it's more spread out. And I'm not in any of the Facebook groups for the suburban scene. I'm from the suburbs, but I never perform there unless very specifically rare situations for like if it's a show, not for open mics.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
so
I don't
fuck the
know. So
suburban
I'll go to
scene.
like I I try to go to some of them. Some of them are really nice open mics. Like the one at CG's Comedy Club, that one's really, really
Oh yeah, I heard
nice.
about that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Well, I'm just shitting on the scene. Yeah, I'm sure there's some great open mics, but like every comedy scene deserves to be criticized harshly, I believe,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But
I feel
anyway,
like the only issue is I feel like I definitely think that the comedy scene in Chicago is a lot harder and tougher, and I think it builds people to do better.
yeah,
Because I feel like there's a lot of suburban comics where if they just do suburban comedy and then they go to the Chicago, they just eat dog shit.
yeah, dude. Chicago is where you find out. Also, it could be so like shitty sometimes. Like if you're just Chicago has its own problems. Like it can be kind of defeating because it's so everyone's so fucking jealous and into their own heads that they might not laugh even if you are funny.
Yeah,
So it's a mixed bag.
yeah.
But
I totally agree, but it is what it is.
exactly, it's a good point. It is. You take it. You don't seem like you are too bitter yet about
No,
comedy.
I mean, I say what I want. I'm not going to. There might be some instances where I won't be completely honest with someone because I don't want to offend their feelings. But at the same time, I like being honest. The issue is that I feel like a lot of people can't handle that.
Hell yeah, dude. And you're disciplined, it seems. So I respect you,
Oh, well, thank you,
especially
Tim.
for
By
putting
the
it
way,
on. Yeah. What's up?
I like your haircut. You look cute.